Hey guys, this is Comic and today I'm doing a review for War of the Realms issue 1. I got the Spider-Man variant. There's like 20 variants, but obviously as a Spider-Man fan, I wanted to get this one. We got Peter, we got Gwen, we got Miles. That was pretty cool. Also, I got the Spider-Gwen Asgardian variants. That was the other War of the Realms cover I got related here, and I also got the regular Spider-Gwen cover because I only got 12 books this week, so I decided to get those two covers. Now, going into War of the Realms, I'm not a huge fan of Marvel events. I think a lot of us who have been reading comics for a very long time has had some event fatigue, and a lot of times nothing really happens in them, or there's not really great build up to them, but I've actually really been excited for this. I've been following Thor for a little while now. I've never been a hardcore Thor fan until Jane Foster. I really liked that run a lot, so obviously excited to see what the guy behind Jane Foster becoming Thor will end his run with. How's that going to end? And obviously just Jason Aaron's been on this title for such a long time, and what will Thor look like after he's done with the character. So, another thing I really like is that this has been building in the Thor book for a really long time. Even before the Jane Foster stuff, we've been getting this whole entire thing with the Wars of the Realms. That's been building up a lot. And now finally it is in the regular world, the regular realm of Midgard. And how are all the other superheroes going to deal with that? And that's what this arc is going to bring us. And also another thing I really like is that it's only 6 issues, so it's not too long of an event. But, obviously with these big events, you have a ton of tie-ins. You want to see? Act 1 has this many tie-ins. I'm not getting all the tie-ins. Out of this list, I will obviously be getting the main War of the Realms book. I will be getting possibly Thor. We'll see how much that ties into it. I haven't been reading the current Thor, so we'll see. Journey into Mystery, because Miles and Kate is in that. And then War Scrolls looked interesting, and Uncanny X-Men. So that is 1, 2, possibly 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tie-ins. So I'm getting about half the tie-ins. So I'm not getting all of them. There's a little bit too much, especially this is Act 1. That means Act 2 will have way too many tie-ins. So we'll see if that brings the event down. Now I know I had a big prelude to this review, so let's get started and actually dig into this review. Now, first, start talking about the artwork. I love the art. I'm a big fan of Russell Dodderman's artwork and a huge fan of Matthew Wilson's coloring. So just bringing this whole creative team back to the Thor books and for this event has been great. I love how cinematic everything looks. And again, the colors just really pop. I just really love the look of this book. So that's another thing I'll miss if Russell Dodderman is leaving Thor, and obviously he hasn't been on the main Thor title for a while, but I'll miss his artwork. But I'm also excited, especially seeing him do other heroes in this book, excited to see what else he'll do for Marvel. So it's nice to see some Spider-Man there as well. I love the way he does the spider sense. I thought that was cool. So great artwork. So let's get into the story. Now, with this one, we get to see what Thor's been up to. So if you haven't been reading Thor, I don't think you'll be completely lost. But I will say you probably have had to read some Thor. So let's say you've only read the Jane Foster stuff or a couple of issues of the Jane Foster stuff. I think you'll be able to navigate. But if you've never read Thor in your life, you might be a little lost, and especially if you haven't read any current Thor. So they definitely dive into that story very quickly. But there's some really great ways they open this. We get to see some possible deaths, or at least stabbings, with Odin in the beginning of the issue. And then Loki gets stabbed, and then he tricks Thor, and then he gets eaten. So that was pretty big. What's going to happen to Loki? But of course, with all these death, hurt things going on, with comics, they're not dead. They're possibly just hurt for a little while. It's just for a cliffhanger. So those type of stories, I'm like, all right, whatever. We'll see where those characters go. But I did like the ending of this issue where Thor comes back with a couple of hammers. He's like, who wants one? He's like, he's like Oprah. He's like, you get a car, you get a hammer, you get a hammer. So I like that cliffhanger, especially because, again, as a Jane fan, I just want her to get a hammer. And she's finally in remission, so it is possible for her to be a Thor again. And if you look at the beginning here, We get to see a list of characters that are going to be part of this event, and Jane's right up in front. So we know she's going to have a big part. She has a small part in this issue, pretty much saying, hey, they're hunting me too, even though I'm not Thor anymore. So we know she's going to be part of the story. Now, I do think this is a bit long. I believe it's a $4.99. Oh, no, it's a $5.99 book. Whoa. Yeah, so the pacing's a little off for me, but I do think there's some really cool events here. I think it's a good chapter to start out, and I'm interested in the event. That's what an issue 1 should do. I want to see where this goes. I want to see what it'll be like with our other Marvel heroes holding the hammer and becoming gods. That sounds like a really cool concept, and why I'm excited for War of the Realms. Now, was there a oh my god moment in this issue for me? Not for me personally, because I'm not a huge Loki fan, but I'm sure for the Loki fans out there, they're going to be like, oh my god, he was just eaten. That's crazy. So there's some good moments here. Overall, I'm going to give this 3.5 stars. I thought it was a pretty good start. Definitely, probably the highest rating I've given an event book for its first chapter, because again, not a huge fan of the Marvel events in recent years. They usually let me down, but I'm hoping this one doesn't and is consistent and has good pacing and a fun adventure throughout. But let me know in the comments below. What did you think of this issue? Will you be following War of the Realms? How many tie-ins will you be getting? So hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Definitely go check out my Facebook page, my Twitter, my comic books like Father Like Daughter, and They Call Her the Dancer. And every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time is Frontline Live, where we discuss our favorite comics and comic book news. So be sure to check that out as well. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.